Alright, good morning. I am here at Graham Hills. Today I will be reviewing my friend's 2022 Santa Cruz Chameleon. Right here is their beginner D build. This is actually not my first time riding this bike. This is my second time. First time I was riding on a local trail. I wanted to give this a proper thrashing here, an enduro style type trail. For those who are not familiar with who I am or new to the channel, I am the poverty version of Steve from Hardtail Party. I have owned a few hardtails, like 4 in the last 5 years, and I've ridden over 10. I'm not going to do a review where I'm just going to be sitting here pedaling in the woods having a jolly good time. I will actually be pushing this bike and shredding it pretty hard and giving an honest opinion of how this thing rides. Based on a preliminary first ride, spoiler alert, feels pretty damn heavy. This bike is 34.9 pounds. I couldn't believe it. I had to do a triple take, kept weighing it, but the stock components are that heavy. I will feel how this thing climbs, and I will feel how this thing handles the steep downhill fast sections. Yeah, I was just warming up to feel how this bike feels. Now I'm gonna actually pedal down this thing. Seat's in the way. Jump's pretty okay, even for the bars being so low. The high rise bar and over forking maybe a little bit will definitely help this thing jump better and pump better and bunny hop better. Definitely I could feel the limitations of how easy it is to bunny hop with the factory flat bars like this. Front end gets light compared to a bike with a 77 seat angle. Still manageable. All right, thanks for waiting. Well, have a good day. Did the first 6 to 10 minute climb up here. My initial trail ride at a more flat place, the bike felt very sluggish. So I'm actually going to splice clips from the first ride in here, so it's going to be a little weird. Sometimes I'll be commenting as if it's me riding the bike for the first time. But the weight of the bike, you know, around like 34.5-ish, it actually wasn't 34.9. It doesn't feel bad here when it's steep. You can just kind of sit and pedal and spin. It's not going to accelerate or sprint up a hill, but it's good. It doesn't feel heavy at all. And but the front end does get light on the really steep sections, but it's no different than like a Big Al or a Scout or a Ragley Marley, but it's not as forward and composed as an ESD or a San Quentin 3, the 2023 model. We're getting, all right, let's see how. So the guy in front of me, he's actually the friend of John, the owner of the Chameleon. He was freaking ripping it down this rocky section, and he's riding a Specialized Fuse, which has a pretty steep head angle, so definitely he's got the skills and the recklessness to charge the place like that. Couple of close calls though, man, but man, he was ripping. So this trail down here is called Orange at Graham Hills. I had no idea it was a Black Diamond tech trail. In fact, I have never ridden this trail. Therefore, I was not expecting it, and I didn't know the lines very well. So I was pushing the bike. I'm kind of glad that I wrote it down because the Chameleon actually took it really well, with the exception that the seat was actually in the way a good amount of times. I don't think this is a good warm-up trail for John. Where's Jose? There you are.
That's orange. That's pretty much it.
Let's hike back up.
This isn't like a DH park.
Yeah.
That was probably more intense than most of the stuff I did at Spider.
Yeah.
But it's free and you gotta work your way back
Also
up.
here, it's tough either.
All right, is it recording? Yes, it is. Blue going down. Here's the rough section. Missed that rock. Swing ride's pretty good. Stop. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
This bike did it, slayed it.
Good run.
Yep. Yep. All right, the front end feels very low to me. Yep. Yeah, the front feels low. Doesn't accelerate. Yeah, this doesn't accelerate as fast.
This is way more comfortable front park. It's not even close.
Yeah. This should be where the Santa Cruz go faster here. These tight switchback sections. Oh, this thing is okay. This lever has too much play in it. It's not.
The brake levers?
No, your lever over here for the dropper. It's like it doesn't have any tightness. Hold on, let me see if I can change that up. There's something wrong. Now I am going to switch gears and go back in time. Now this is on a much flatter Long Island trail. This is actually my first day riding this bike. So there's actually some assembly issues that I had to fix before the ride, which was the second day ride in the beginning of this video. And my impressions of this bike, spoiler, was not very high because I didn't have gravity helping me pull me down to get to the bottom of the trail, and you can really feel the weight. I keep mentioning that the front end is very low. On paper, it's got a stack height of 630 millimeters, but the main issue is that the bar has like zero rise on it. So that's an easy fix. I think they want to keep like the bars a little flatter so it's a better all-arounder bike, like for flatter terrain. But for the way that I like to ride, like to jump around, 25, 35 millimeter rise bar will definitely help. And it's also nice that they left enough steer tube and they were good enough to leave the stem all the way up to the top. Out of the way enough. Oh, that's why it wasn't all the way down. Huh? Yeah. Definitely, you don't gotta be as over the front of this bike. It does feel easier to manipulate through this section here. You all right? All right. Feels like I'm going mad slow though. Woo! The aggressor have no grip. The parts are really letting this frame down, man.
I like this bike.
The spec is really letting this frame down.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't charge as fast as I normally would.
I know. I think the fork is the #1 offender.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because Cunningham, you don't notice the fork as much. But, like, here you do. Yep. Everything just feels dead on this bike. Like there's no pop, there's no liveliness. Everything just feels dense. The bike rides every bit as heavy as the weight suggests. This seat doesn't stay down. Yeah, I can't believe how slow I'm taking this, man. Yeah, I'm taking it super slow.
Ironically, as I will conclude later on, is that the crappier parts really don't matter as much riding down the
How'd that
steeper
feel?
terrain, but you absolutely will notice it on a flatter trail where you have to constantly stop and accelerate and sprint, stop, accelerate and sprint. It's just really like the refinement of the parts and the weight of it. So it's like two completely different impressions of the same bike when I'm riding in Long Island versus
Again,
at
the
like an
recon's
actual
just
mountain
not
in the beginning of the video.
All right, so closing arguments or closing ideas of what's going on with this bike. It actually changed my opinion a lot riding in the more gnarly, steeper terrain. My initial impressions riding on XC trails, I really wasn't that impressed with it. But the more challenging the terrain, the more it surprises me, the better it felt, even with this, you know, entry-level stuff. Which is strange. You would think that it would be overwhelmed more with the Recon at the steeper, bigger rocks, but no, it actually held its own. The aggressor actually gripped pretty good over here. The weight didn't feel too bad because I'm just steady state spinning, climbing up. The frame absolutely did not hammer me at all. Like, when you ride a stiff frame, you'll know. It only takes like 30 seconds to like 2 minutes to feel a frame because you just feel different shock waves and stuff like that. And no higher quality parts cannot negate the stiff frame. So like a common style Meta will have a Yari fork, which is way better, which is 2 levels higher than a Recon. And it'll come with softer 2.8 Recon tires, and you feel it immediately. Same thing with like the Giant Fathom 2 with the Crest fork and the better everything. It just, you notice it immediately. So this frame is actually really good. And this is the stock review of it. Over time, the owner is going to upgrade the bike. It's really just a fork away from greatness. Even the level brakes, the XE brakes, held up fine in the fast sections. So positive review. My opinion of this bike has changed tremendously. Thanks for watching. Bye.